Hello and thank you for tuning into News Today. Without delay, take a look at the headlines first. Union Education Ministry cancelled UGC-NET 2024. Cabinet approved Viability Gap Funding Scheme for offshore wind energy projects. Ministry of Coal released Draft Mining Plan Guidelines for Coal and Lignite Blocks 2024. World celebrates 10th International Yoga Day. Gulf region became integral part of India's extended neighbourhood. India's share in global space economy to rise 4 times by 2030 in comparison to 2021. In our next news, the Union Education Ministry has announced the cancellation of the UGC-NET 2024 examination, following reports of widespread cheating and a paper leak which compromised the integrity of examination. This decision has sent shockwaves through the academic community and aspiring candidates alike. The University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test, commonly known as UGC-NET, is a crucial examination conducted by the National Testing Agency. It determines the eligibility of candidates for assistant professorships and junior research fellowships across India. Experts point to several factors contributing to the rise in exam malpractices. These include a disturbing positive attitude towards cheating among some students, intense societal pressures that equate success solely with high marks, and a perceived lack of swift justice in dealing with such cases. Additionally, overambition and the pursuit of self-interest have led some candidates to resort to unfair means. The ethical implications of cheating are far-reaching. It violates fundamental principles of deontological ethics by adopting unfair means and cheating for favorable results. From a utilitarian perspective, it harms society by potentially placing unqualified individuals in important positions. The practice also contradicts the concept of justice as fairness principle. Cheating violates human liberties and equality of opportunities and supports unjust differences. Cheating is also against virtue ethics. Virtues of truth, trust, and excellence of character do not support deception or dishonesty. In response to such challenges, the government recently enacted the Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024. This legislation aims to bring greater transparency, fairness, and credibility to public examination systems. It specifically targets unfair practices in examinations conducted by the central government and its agencies. The Act identifies 15 actions that amount to using unfair means in public examinations for monetary or wrongful gain, like leakage of question papers. All offences under the Act will be cognizable, non-bailable, and non-compoundable. In conclusion, the cancellation of UGC-NET 2024 serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing challenges in maintaining exam integrity. It underscores the need for stricter measures and a collective shift in attitudes towards education and success. In our next news, the Indian Cabinet has approved a groundbreaking Viability Gap Funding Scheme for offshore wind energy projects, marking a significant leap in the country's renewable energy sector. With total outlay of Rs 7,453 crore, this initiative aims to commission 1 gigawatt of offshore wind power, 500 megawatt each off the coast of Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. It also aims for upgradation of 2 ports to meet logistics requirements for these projects. India's 4th largest wind energy producer in world, with cumulative installed capacity of 46.4 gigawatt by May 2024. Now let's learn some more facts about the VGF scheme for offshore wind energy projects. This scheme, overseen by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, is a crucial step in implementing the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy of 2015. The National Policy of 2015 aims to explore and promote deployment of India's vast offshore wind energy potential within its exclusive economic zone. In VGF, private developers will take the lead in establishing the offshore wind energy projects, while the Power Grid Corporation of India Limited will be responsible for building the necessary transmission infrastructure, including offshore substations. The impact of this initiative is expected to be substantial. The commissioned 1 gigawatt of offshore wind projects will generate approximately 3.72 billion units of renewable electricity annually. This clean energy production will result in a reduction of 2.98 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions each year for the next 25 years. Additionally, reduced cost of power from offshore wind projects will make them viable for purchase by discoms. Lastly, it will lead to creation of required ecosystem for development of offshore wind sector, further attracting investments, development of indigenous manufacturing capabilities in this sector. Wrapping up, take a look at the specifics of offshore wind energy. It is the energy derived from winds blowing across the sea, transformed into electricity and supplied into electricity network onshore. MNRE has set a target of 30 gigawatt offshore wind installations by 2030. Its benefits include higher adequacy and reliability, lower storage requirement, and higher employment potential. Although technical challenges persist, like installation, infrastructural shortcomings, displacement of marine wildlife, etc. Perhaps most importantly, the VGF scheme is set to catalyze the development of a robust ecosystem for the offshore wind sector. It's expected to attract investments and foster the growth of indigenous manufacturing capabilities, positioning India as a key player in the global offshore wind industry.
In our next news, Ministry of Coal released draft mining plan guidelines for coal and lignite blocks 2024. These guidelines aim to foster a more sustainable and ethical approach to coal mining. Let's dive into details of draft mining plan guidelines. The primary objectives of these guidelines is optimizing coal resource extraction through sustainable practices that minimize waste and enhance operational efficiency. The Coal Controller Organization, based in New Delhi along with offices in Kolkata, Dhanbad and other locations, has been given the authority to process, scrutinize and approve mining plans. The CCO under the Ministry of Coal is a major source of coal statistics in the Government of India and monitors the progress of development in captive coal and lignite blocks. Additionally, it addresses any objections to government notifications related to the acquisition of coal-bearing areas. Now, let's highlight some other key aspects and reform introduced through these new guidelines. Firstly, all coal and lignite blocks must have a mining plan approved by a competent authority. There is also calendar plan flexibility to allow for increased annual coal production. Moreover, there is a preference for blast-free and continuous coal cutting technologies in mining methods. Safety is a top priority, with implementation of Safety Management Plan as per the Coal Mines Regulations of 2017, including mandatory safety audits. Another important aspect is the integration of fly ash filing protocols into mining plans. Additionally, there is a mandatory requirement for the preparation of mine closure plans for mines abandoned or discontinued post-2009. Why is sustainable coal mining so significant? Sustainable coal mining promotes systematic and scientific mining through the adoption of new technologies. It encourages responsible mining practices that support both the coal industry and the broader ecosystem. Additionally, it also introduces robust safety measures in place to safeguard the interests of workers. Let's take a broader look at the coal sector in India. Coal is the most important and abundant fossil fuel in the country, accounting for 55% of India's energy needs. India boasts the fifth largest coal reserves globally and is the second largest consumer of coal. The major coal-producing states include Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra and West Bengal. In 2020, the Ministry of Coal launched commercial coal mining, marking a significant milestone in the sector. In conclusion, the draft mining plan guidelines for coal and lignite blocks 2024 represent a major step towards sustainable and responsible mining practices in India.
In our next news, June 21st marks the 10th International Yoga Day, a global celebration of the ancient practice that has gained worldwide recognition for its numerous health benefits. International Yoga Day was first proclaimed by the United Nations in 2014, following a proposal by India that received support from 175 member states. This annual observance aims to raise awareness of yoga's holistic approach to health and well-being. The word yoga originates from Sanskrit, meaning to join, symbolizing the unity of mind and body. It is one of the 6 schools of Indian philosophy. Remaining are Vaisheshik, Nyaya, Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa and Vedant or Uttar Mimamsa. Its roots can be traced back to the seal and fossils remains of Indus Valley civilization, with evidence dating back as far as 2700 BC. The word yoga is referred to in all 4 Vedas. However, systematic reference of yoga is found in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra in 2nd century BC. Other books of Patanjali include Mahabhashya or Great Commentary. Over the past decade, yoga has emerged as a powerful tool in India's cultural diplomacy efforts. As one of India's biggest cultural exports, it has become a key instrument of soft power, fostering mutual understanding among nations through the exchange of ideas and cultural practices. Cultural diplomacy means the exchange of ideas, information, art, language, and other aspects of culture among nations and peoples in order to foster mutual understanding. Interestingly, International Yoga Day coincides with the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. On this day, the Northern Hemisphere is tilted towards the Sun, with its rays falling directly on the Tropic of Cancer. The North Pole is inclined towards the Sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle experience continuous daylight for about 6 months. It marks the longest day and the shortest night for those north of the equator, while the opposite occurs in the Southern Hemisphere. In conclusion, as we celebrate a decade of International Yoga Day, it's clear that this ancient Indian practice has truly become a global phenomenon, transcending cultural and geographical boundaries.
Ahead in the news, we delve into the evolving dynamics of India's extended neighbourhood, specifically focusing on the Gulf region, which has become an integral part of this strategic domain. Gulf becoming part of India's extended neighbourhood was highlighted in a recent report published by the Italian Institute for International Political Studies. To understand this better, let's define the extended neighbourhood in geographical terms. It includes countries in the Indian Ocean region, East Africa, the Gulf region, Central Asia, and Southeast Asia. Now, let's explore the strategic convergence between India and the Gulf region. Starting with the economic aspect, the Gulf Cooperation Council or GCC is India's largest regional bloc trading partner. Moving on to energy security, a crucial area, India imported 55.3% of its total crude oil in 2022-23 from the Gulf region. Additionally, the Gulf Cooperation Council is at the focus of India's regional geo-economic and connectivity strategy. India engages with GCC through various groups like I2U2, which includes India, Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States, as well as the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor or IMEC. On the defense and security front, India cooperates with the Gulf region to secure maritime lines of communication from pirates. Furthermore, the welfare of the Indian diaspora is a significant concern, with over 8 million Indians or people of Indian origin working in and around this region. However, challenges persist. The Hamas-Israel war and the Red Sea attacks on the Indian ships by Yemen's Houthis are notable security concerns. Additionally, the growing engagement of Gulf countries with China adds another layer of complexity. Now, let's take a closer look at the Gulf Cooperation Council or GCC. Established in 1981, it comprises 6 Gulf states: the UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Qatar, and Kuwait. The objectives of the GCC include coordination, integration, and interconnection between member states in all fields. The organizational structure of the GCC is quite robust. The Supreme Council, composed of the heads of state, is the highest authority. Following this is the Ministerial Council, consisting of foreign ministers. In conclusion, the Gulf region's integration into India's extended neighbourhood signifies a deepening of strategic ties across various domains. Ahead in some exciting news from the space sector, the Minister of State for Science and Technology has highlighted a significant forecast. India's share in the global space economy is set to rise fourfold by 2030 compared to 2021. In 2021, the Indian space industry held a modest 2% share of the global space economy. However, by 2047, this is projected to leap to an impressive 15%. Let's take a closer look at the current status of India's space economy. As of 2023, the size of India's space economy is estimated at $8.4 billion, accounting for about 2 to 3% of the global space economy. By 2030, India has the potential to capture 9% of the global market share. One of the driving forces behind this growth is the burgeoning number of space startups. In 2024, the number of space startups in India has skyrocketed to nearly 200, up from just 1 in 2022. The private sector is increasingly involved in space missions. For example, Skyroot Aerospace recently made headlines by successfully test-firing a 3D printed cryogenic engine that runs on cryogenic propellants, specifically liquefied natural gas and liquid oxygen. Currently, 100% FDI is allowed in the space sector, which further boosts this growth. However, this rapid growth comes with its own set of challenges. Despite the progress, India's space budgets remain constrained. Space spending as a percentage of GDP is relatively low, with India spending only 0.04% of its GDP on space compared to the United States, which spends 0.28%. Additionally, there is a shortage of trained scientists, engineers, and technicians to meet the demands of an expanding space program. Another concern is the absence of clear national space legislation, leading to a lack of clarity on planning and conducting space-related activities. To address these issues, several steps have been taken. The Indian Space Policy 2023 now enables the end-to-end participation of non-governmental entities in all domains of space activities. The Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, an independent nodal agency under the Department of Space, facilitates space activities. Furthermore, New Space India Limited has been established to promote private sector participation. In conclusion, India's space economy is on a trajectory of remarkable growth, with a significant rise in its global share expected by 2030.
As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. World Investment Report 2024 released by UN Trade and Development. Its key findings state that globally, foreign direct investment flows declined by 2% in 2023. Additionally, sizable declines were recorded in India. Also, the mobilization of funds for SDG investment through sustainable finance products is slowing down. Karnataka government cleared the centre's proposal on reviving gold mines at KGF. KGF gold mines are located about 100 kilometers from Bangalore in Kolar district of Karnataka. These are operated by the Bharat Gold Mines Limited, a public sector undertaking. 6 Asiatic lions have migrated from Gir Forest to the Barda Wildlife Sanctuary. Their IUCN status is endangered and they are listed in Appendix 1 of CITES. According to IUCN, conservation status of Iberian lynx has improved from endangered to vulnerable, reflecting significant increase in its population. These are medium-sized wild cat species native to Iberian Peninsula in southwestern Europe, including Portugal and Spain. A striped Sicilian has been added to fauna in Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve. These are a separate group of amphibians classified under Order Apoda. Chad has become the first country in 2024 and 51st globally to eliminate a neglected tropical disease, that is sleeping sickness. It is a vector-borne parasite disease caused by trypanosoma parasite. These are a diverse group of conditions caused by a variety of pathogens. Recently, many people died after consuming hooch or spurious liquor in Tamil Nadu. Spurious liquor is characterized by high methanol content. Department of Telecom held first networking event of Sangam Digital Twin Initiative at IIT Delhi. It is a proof of concept focused on revolutionizing planning and design of infrastructure through integration of digital twin technology with artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. A new freshwater diatom genus named Indiconema discovered from eastern and western Ghats. Diatom are unicellular algae belonging to a phytoplankton group. They are chief producers in oceans and produced 20 to 30% of global oxygen. Matani Pachedi is an ancient art form from Gujarat. It is religious textile folk art, drawing inspiration from the Kalamkari style of painting. It means behind the idol of Mother Goddess. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. We appreciate your company. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.